All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to another Dash 28 live stream of the Quintessentially Quayle Cup, or the QQC, apparently Crying Face Cup, which I've only just found out. Apologies for the delay on streaming. I had a load of issues. It snows outside, so the internet gets ruined, but we're here at last. Joining me today is the lovely Joey Greek and Sam Sowden Garcia, both of which are taking part in the lovely tournament we have organised. To help with the commentary and make sure that we keep it all kind of open. We've got Thomas Bander Alexanderson from lovely Norway, and Carl Peach bringing himself from the lovely US of A. Right, so I bet you guys are looking forward to finding out what is actually going on. Let's bring up some army lists to start off with. So Sam, I think, is the one who's going to come up first, because you brought the lovely herd, which are totally rubbish, aren't they? You should never bring those.
Oh, they suck.
Totally bottom tier. I have to say, I love the herd. They're a great army to take, and nobody tells you that they're rubbish, that they're wrong.
Yeah.
So
there isn't a unit in the list that I don't like.
Well, here we go.
I like all of them.
Got to be careful. You'll be selling it too much, and when it's setting you to win. So, right, let me get the list up here. Right. So, you quickly run through what you've taken and why you've taken it. Go.
Okay, so I've got 3 troops of Longhorns, because they hit like a train, and now they have rallying, which makes them amazing.
Yeah,
two troops of Gur Panthers for your typical fast chaff. 2 hordes of the new and very much improved Guardian Brutes, which lost their wild charge, but gained Pathfinder and Brutal. And I've given them the Mead of Madness and the Brew of Haste. I've got a horde of Lycans with the Brew of Strength as a quick hitty flanker. The shiny new Stampede. I've got the only one of the obligatory Beasts of Nature with wings and swings. A Druid with a Banechant and the Conjurer's Staff for Banechanting. The Great Chieftain for his, the amazing Dread and Wild Charge +1 aura. And the Sacred Horn. And finally, I've got the Avatar of the Father, who is, taking up the other regular Beast of Nature slot, but better.
Yeah, you've only got 1 Beast of Nature. What's going on? It doesn't feel like a herd army at all.
It's got a super Beast of Nature.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Avatar as a better second Beast of Nature. That does explain why you only had 1. I had the same question.
So you've got a total unit strength of 18 and total units of 13. So it's still quite elite, this army as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
but
that's,
not devastatingly so. 13 is kind of the number that I think is, I don't feel too worried at 23.
Only when you have to play halflings, right? And when they draw like 17 or 18 units, you go, hang on, I feel it.
Yeah, that's a normal number for halflings. 17.
Oh, filthy shooty rats.
Well, I do actually want to ask you more questions about it, but we'll do that later on. So what we need to do now is grab up Joey Greek's lovely Nightstalker list, which has been kicking ass, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. UB loves bloodworms, is what I found.
Whose ass?
My own. My pride's really. The ego has shrunk 10 times this month.
It's been stepping on rakes?
That's kind of what it's felt like. So now
here we go.
That list up. All right. We have a Legion of Bloodworms with the Hammer of Measured Force. These guys got a little bit of extra nerve and fury in the changes. We've got 2 Mind Screeches, a Horror Rift Reaver with its brand new profile,
I love the Horror Rift Weaver. It's got so much possibility, hasn't it?
It's a lot of potential, but it's very list dependent. In this matchup, Spell Ward is strictly a negative, which is fun. But we've also got 2 Hordes of Fiends, one with Elite, one with Jesse's Boots, 4 regiments of the new and improved Soul Flayers. They got an extra 3 attacks for free. Makes them a lot harder hitting than they used to be. We have a Shade with Blade of the Beast Slayer, so I've got a mini Shakira. A Horror with the Vicious Aura and Sacred Horn. It replaced Lightning Bolt with Bane Chant and grabbed Host Shadow Beast. And then we've got Shakira herself in all her glory. It's very simple, straightforward.
Yeah, well, it's still Nightstalkers, so it's still tricksy. But you've got same number of units, 13, but 22 unit strength. So a little bit of unit strength advantage, especially with Dominate. We never know.
Yeah, it's mostly in the Soul Flayers having 2, whereas Longhorns have 1.
Yeah, that's where it's coming from.
Okie doke. Right. Well, what we'd like to do is bid you adieu at this stage, and then we will catch up with you after your first turns, and you can give us a bit more of an insight into what you're planning to do during the game, so you don't give away to your opponent at the moment. Although we did one other thing we wanted to do as well. Well, I wanted to do. I don't know about you guys. Is we were just going to give some context on the game so far, because this is the 3rd game of the group stage and the key one, as such, to decide who actually makes it into the quarterfinal. So you guys are all in Group 2.
The shame.
And at the moment, you are the 2 here at the bottom here, aren't you? But because of the proximity of all the points, there is an opportunity for either of you to make it into the quarterfinal stage. Joe, you need a big win.
Yep. I think like Sam, a 19 would do it, and that's only if Thomas wins.
Then if Thomas wins and wins big enough that Andrew doesn't gain a decent score as well. But Sam, you were saying that you could lose but still get into the quarterfinals.
Yeah. If Thomas won big and I lost small, I would get through. But if Andrew won big and I won small, I could get knocked out, which would be very sad.
Sad for some, not for others. Okay. So, at that stage, we'll leave you guys to it. So if you want to shoot off into the game, we will see you guys in a little bit. And good luck.
All right.
See you in a bit.
So
right.
Did we lose Kyle?
Kyle just dropped out for a second. He's back. So let's share a screen. Let's see if this works. So after all the technical issues that I have, hence why I'm now a disembodied dragon head rather than just a normal human being. It's all right. I can look at myself in the mirror later. I'll feel better. So here we are, set up. Let's quickly go through how the guys have set up. So at the bottom, actually, we're going to put the little tab banner on. Here we go. At the bottom, we've got Sam. He's got his Gur Panthers here on the far left. The Stampede. It actually is a Stampede miniature as well, isn't it? So it's
made a real Stampede this time.
It's not. It doesn't exist anymore. It's Minotaur Chariots named Stampede. I don't know how that quite works. Do they just transform into a Stampede now?
Just throw off their chariots and stampede ahead.
It's just Minotaurs.
They level up. Is that a little bit like He-Man in what was it? This panther just turns from like a panther into a battle cat. That's essentially what happens. And then right behind there, so he's got his druid ready with his Bane chant and his heal. 2 troops of Longhorns. I was a bit disappointed he didn't necessarily go for the nimble item on these guys here, but
yeah, that seemed interesting. But we won't see it
everybody works different. He'll probably never need it. The 2 much improved Guardian Brute Hordes with the one of the best things about the new herd list is the Great Chieftain with the Wild Charge aura. Just awesome. And then, as a kind of secondary battle group, out on the right-hand side, more Bear Panthers, the Lycans with the automatic Brewer Strength upgrade. It just seems to be, you just hover over it and it selects it straight away.
That's a good one.
And then the Beast of Nature and the Avatar of the Father. I haven't really considered him as being a super beast of nature, but he kind of is, isn't he? At the end of the day, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, he's got a couple more attacks than Thunder, but he's closer to a dragon, really.
Right. Yeah. Somebody text them and tell them that they have to start making, stuff in the chat. We're not going to have it like the last stream where we had no idea what was going on.
Well, they rolled for first turn.
Yeah.
And Sam won the roll and chose to go first.
Yeah, you text them, Thomas. Right. That's yeah, there we go. We just see them flying up. So just having a look at Joey's setup. He's got the Soul Flayer regiments here on the left-hand side. Fiends of Strider just behind them. The little shade with the Blade of the Beast Slayer. Always love that as a option. The 2 Mind Screeches, flanked by the other Fiends of Elite. The massive Legion of Bloodworms, just sandwiching the horror in between. The Rift, is it Rift Weaver? Horror Rift Weavers, isn't it?
Or that's Rift Weavers, yes.
And then the 2 more regiments of Soul Flayers on either flank with Shakira.
Is Shakira the name we're going with?
Literally, he's just called it Shakira. There is no...
Okay, we can go with Shakira.
I mean, is there one point we're just going to be accosted by Shakira's, gonna just going to strike it? You're going to have to stop calling your model Shakira. I don't know. But... Okay, so guys, give me a lowdown. What do you reckon to Sam's herd army? What are good things, bad things? What do you reckon?
Well, if you look at the middle, he set this up. And he really could have done this with only 2 Longhorn regiments, but he used 3. But he set it up in such a way so that rally's hitting everybody, right? And I think it's all charging, 15 or 16 inches? Something like that? With the Wild Charge aura?
With the Wild Charge aura, yes. So the Stampede has got a maximum of 18 because it has Wild Charge D3 plus movement 7 now.
So 18... And then the Brutes have... Oh, I guess the Brutes are 14 and 15 because they don't have Wild Charge natively. But it gave them speed and madness.
Which is, yeah, I mean, it's cool. If you look over on Joey's side, you've got the Fiends at the top there. They're outpacing... the Minotaurs, and obviously you've got the 2 Soul Flayers that are outpacing. Sorry, not Minotaurs, Guardian Brutes. But the Stampede is competing against the other stuff.
Not Soul Flayers.
It's quite tough. Yeah, the Soul Flayers, though, if they come in unhindered, although that's going to be hard to achieve because the Stampede is going to hug the terrain.
Right. They should go right up to the wall. Well, maybe not with what he did with those Guardian Brutes.
So what do we actually think to then the herd list then? I mean, as you say, like the Longhorns, I do like the rally as an option added on top. Do you like the changes to the Minotaur chariots and the Guardian Brutes? Try and differentiate them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are disappointed with how slow the Guardian Brutes are now, and that's fair, but I think the units needed to be differentiated more, and that's what they did.
And now with Wild Charge Aura +1, at least they can go fast if you invest a bit faster. Yeah, I haven't looked too much into herd before or after change, so I can't really comment too much.
Right, because it was 2 units that were just too similar to each other before.
Yeah,
they were. And in the Guardian Brutes not having Pathfinder was it made them, I don't know about it made them tricky to use because a lot of armies don't have to deal with that having Pathfinder, so they end up having the Pathfinder items. But because they needed the charge with the wild charge with the Thunder as well, they needed to be unhindered or charge first. They still have it to a certain extent, and I like the chariots now being a longer range version. But again, having the Lost Strider, which didn't really kind of make any sense with like chariots anyway, was kind of like, more thematic going back that way, even though the Stampede now ignores everything anyway with Pathfinder and Strider.
Yeah, but it's the Stampede. The Stampede can.
How about the Avatar of the Father as well? Are we liking the going back to that, having a monster hero?
Obviously, that's a good thing to have. 285 is fairly cheap for what I do think is closer to a dragon than a beast of nature. With the 9 attacks, the extra thunder. Fury is big on that, as is Pathfinder. It's a really good unit.
But what he does lack that the dragon has is fire breath.
And that's why he's so cheap.
So in mine Sam's game, he spent a lot of time moving him around and positioning him and really doing nothing much. So if he had some sort of spell or breath attack, he would have gotten much more value out of him, at least in our game.
Right.
I think that's an issue with the herders, and overall they don't have a large amount of ranged options. But then we've brought in things like the Scorch Wings now, so they're able to take Scorch Wings. Who've also been upgraded. They always had the Centaur Hunters. You had always had a mobile shooting platform. Well, it wasn't a great shooting platform, but they're a good utility unit, by the way. So it's always been maybe a bit of an issue for them.
But then Sam just took no shooting at all. Unless there's something I missed. I don't think he has any.
No, he hasn't got any. He hasn't got any magic, aggressive magic at least.
No, he's got heal and Bane Chant.
I mean, Beast of Nature can have a shooting attack. Just nobody ever takes it.
Nobody ever takes that.
Which is quite scary because it's actually a vicious 10-shot shooting attack. And you're going, actually, that's not bad.
Oh, it's not vicious melee only. Interesting.
Yeah, vicious.
Vicious.
So Sam has just moved up, staring down at the Nightstalkers. He's been very reserved in the middle there. I mean, he doesn't need to be reserved he can be reserved on the right-hand side because he outranges most stuff anyway, but
I think he can be reserved in the middle too. Why not?
Yeah.
And maybe all that's shooting at him is those 2 Mind Screeches.
If I look at it, at the moment he is in range of the Soul Flayers.
Just one unit though, right?
Yeah, just the one unit. The other unit here is just out.
So that must be the idea. He let Joey go in with 1 unit, knowing that 1 unit was not going to kill the 1820 defense 5 Stampede.
Yeah.
But we'll get Sam on in a second, and he can tell us exactly what he's thinking. What the plan is.
Yeah. But that was a big part of my game with Joey as well, trying to stop him getting double Soul Flayers into anything. So I think maybe it's the first time I played it sort of like layers, where every unit blocked the multi-charge of the next. I don't think I deployed that tactic before, but it was really necessary against Joey's list.
All right, just texting Sam just to make sure he knows.
Oh, we didn't talk about that beforehand. Yeah, he might not.
No, we did. We mentioned it a couple of times. I know I'm not the pro level. I'm not Mike Adkins, right? I know that.
If you want Mike Adkins, come back tonight.
Yeah, that's it. What is that? 1 a.m. GMT.
Yeah, but he's on Pacific time, isn't he? So
it's on American time. So yeah, it's a lot more less ungodly an hour. But that's the beauty of it.
They have Thanksgiving this weekend or something.
That was a few days ago. Was a holiday.
Okay.
It's on a Thursday for no reason. I don't know. I don't make
Okay,
these
so it's
things.
just the one day.
In theory.
Depends who you talk to. Yeah.
Okay. We're also. Yeah.
Well, Joey's cracking on his moves. He's just edging himself forward. Let me just back out of this.
Yeah. I'm very curious what Joey's doing with this. He seems to have invested pretty heavily into this Vicious Aura and making it 9 inches for his 1 infantry unit.
I think when we talk to him, I think what it is it also works with Enshara and the Shade as well.
It does not work with the Shade.
Doesn't it work with the Shade? I thought.
Oh, wait, no, it does. You're right. Ignore me. It works with both.
Sam. Hang on. We'll put Sam back on the stream.
Hi.
Hey. Right. Okay. We were just talking through our thought on your tactics. You tell us what you're trying to do.
I'm just trying to sort of move up, not give him too many charges to get into. Try not to prevent as much pushback as possible from the wind blast.
Right, and also hiding the longhorns from the mind screechers, I guess.
And hiding as much as I can from mind screechers, absolutely. Although I can't really because they're height 4, aren't they?
5.
Yeah, height 5.
I think they're height 5. Well, yeah. The tallest thing I've got is height 3, other than the 2 monsters.
No, just going to go on a hill just to rub it in.
Yeah. It was fairly inevitable.
So playing long term then, is it just a hug at the bottom here?
Hug at the bottom here in the middle and swing round between the hill and the house on the right with the Lycans. Yes. And possibly get the 2 flyers over the top. But I do have to handle that one annoying regiment. Well, both of them, actually.
How you been finding the herd army over the entire tournament?
It's been good. It's done more or less what I've expected of it. The game against Thomas, I screwed up strategically from the beginning, I think.
Because you had a decent first win, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then Thomas played mind games with you.
A little bit actually. I don't think I think I'd handle Mikhail a lot better in another if I played him again.
It's probably good to point out it's Twilight Kin you're using, isn't it, Thomas?
Yep.
I'd be less timid. I was so worried about him one-shotting my flyers that I sort of hid them a bit too much and didn't do what I wanted with them.
Next time when you do place them inside, he will one-shot them.
Yeah, but at least I'll make him. I'll at least get them into positions where they're actually threatening something, and you have to consider whether it'll be enough if you don't one-shot.
Got you.
If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. Okay, look. Do you guys want to ask anything else, or should we let Sam get back to it?
I don't have anything. Do you?
I'm good.
I think we're good for the moment.
Sam.
No news is good news, I guess.
You'll find out when you rewatch the stream.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Good luck, buddy.
Bye.
Okie doke. So it is interesting. I mean, from my point of view, holding back too much may be detrimental in just how much wind blast and firepower Joey's going to be able to leverage back at him.
We'll see. He did, and he mentioned this. He really set himself up so there aren't. I guess there's a unit of Longhorns that Joey could wind blast, but that's it. Just the 1 troop on the right. And everything else in the middle has something blocking.
Yeah, so you'd have to wind blast the character before that wind blasting that unit, before wind blasting this unit. Yep.
But what does he gain by wind blasting?
Right, and it looks instead
It's delaying. I mean, all that Joey's probably interested in
yeah.
is possibly doing an extra bit of damage. And that's why you
Mhm.
have 4 regiments of soul flayers,
No.
but they're not all in range.
On the left, he's probably better off wind blasting the Panthers. And then it looks like he's setting up, I'm guessing, to shoot the Longhorns on the left.
No, with
If
the
he
Mind
got
Screeches.
the Soul Flayers. Mind Screeches in range, which he did. Yeah, one of them there wouldn't even be cover, the one up on the hill.
Yeah, it's using hills to bypass the units there, and there's no point. It wouldn't have an effect on these, but yeah, 100%.
Right, so he's
'Cause-
setting up to lightning bolt them.
Yeah,
It's one of the big weaknesses with Longhorns, and why people are always a little bit averse to taking them, is that you can shoot them off relatively easily. And despite the fact that he's got these here, he's only rallying them for 1 rather than 2, because these guys aren't close enough to rally these
Correct.
guys.
So that's a 11-13 defense 4. 10 lightning bolts scary to that. It won't consistently kill them in one go, but it's a lot.
It's got the potential to do quite a bit of damage, but we all know with
Right.
with lightning bolt, you could roll 30 shots and do a disappointing amount of damage from it.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, so it'll be. I'm interested to see how long he's able to hold back. I think in the center there, maybe it is in his best interest to try and get over on the right hand side as quickly as possible. Considering what was available on the right hand side, I was maybe a little bit disappointed not to see him just shoot up as quickly as possible and accept maybe a charge to get the combat done quickly. Because at the moment it looks like those soul flayers are just backing off and not engaging because they don't need to.
Yeah, I guess he could do the old trick of running his chaff up and putting his flyer behind. So,
or just put the beast in their face and swing around with everything else and use the beast of nature to block line of sight.
Yeah,
that as well.
I mean, then they just fly over, so we need something for that, but could work.
Yeah, but he won't be able to charge. That's the one thing.
Right.
And if you set up the Beast of Nature, then the Beast of Nature can then always maneuver into a position next turn.
Right, and then next turn the beast flies off and it's behind Joey.
Correct, yeah. So here we go. You're right. Targets onto the Longhorns. A couple of bits of damage already.
Jeez, what is with my... The lighting on me right now is super weird.
You look like you're hiding in a cave.
It's actually really bright in this room right now, so I don't know what's going on.
That's probably what it is. It's just too bright.
It's too bright.
Oh, look at that. A big old smash in the face from the other mind screen. Oh, but then he, as always the way, he goes, yeah. Oh, as the damage rolls are disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing. I mean, there isn't that much shooting on the side of the Nightstalkers because 2 Mind Screeches, so 10 Lightning Bolt is
that's it. Yeah.
Significant, but it's not super scary. With a 7, he's going to get the waiver though, so those guys are going to be wavered.
Oh.
No, and I almost didn't catch that. Shakira was running up full speed ahead. So
yes, Shakira has flown in.
And that is a problem, I think, for Sam because now he can start taking out Longhorns or Gur Panthers.
Right, she just found a safe spot to be.
Yeah, I'd set it up for next turn. With her in thrall as well, just bringing units. The question I've always got for this is an interesting question. If you were to enthrall a unit into you, with using her ability, what counts as hindered? Would you be hindered if you were in the terrain when you enthralled her?
That's a really good question.
Because then
I don't think so. I don't know.
Who knows? It was just an interesting thing I thought with it, mainly because I was contemplating running a Nightstalker list with probably 2 Banshees and her, just for fun.
Well, I see that Enshira has Strider, so I guess that solves it.
Oh, there you go. So that
makes
that not an issue.
Well, she might get scorched earthed. I'm just saying, right? You know.
But then she's hindered.
She's always hindered, isn't she? So yeah, it would be a case of she's never hindered or she's always hindered. Or does that count as a... Oh, I'm not going to get into it. I think I'm confusing myself more than anything else.
Yeah, I don't think a troll counts as a counter charge.
I don't know.
It's a question we ask all the hundreds of people who are viewing here. If you do know the answer, send us a postcard.
So I see that Joey changed his tactics a bit. When they played against me, he had the Shade and Jira running together. That was a really nasty punchy combo.
Yeah, that's a lot of attacks, especially with the Blade of the Beast Slayer. You know, come on, where's Joey? Come on.
Oh, that's aggressive.
That's what I like to see.
It's the aggression we were talking about. Especially, I imagine that's out of the Arc of the Bloodworms. So
you are correct.
Is he in a spot where those Soul Flayers can just flank him?
It seems so.
Can he see the
From the leader point? Definitely.
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Oh.
I think maybe not.
No.
So
Oh, something's going on.
Oh, they're checking if he can see. So they thought of the same question we did.
The thing is, you can't zoom in and do it at the same time, can you?
So we'll see what they decide, because they are measuring the exact same thing we're talking about.
All right, I'm here.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joey again. You just come in, and you know he's still trying to work out whether you're going to flank him with his soul flesh. But okay, hit us. What's the grand plan, buddy? What you doing?
Mostly being very aggressive and hoping that he will stay put for a few turns. My list is super fragile, so it doesn't want to be hit early. The earliest it gets hit is probably the worst that could happen. Yeah, I can definitely get there. I think
that's what we kind of agreed to on that.
It seems like he countered your being aggressive by being aggressive.
It looks like it. But the main thing is the Soul Flayers on my right, they're pretty much disposable. The goal is just to make them take time. Ideally, he takes the Riftweaver bait. I know he won't, but I had to offer it. It's kind of the best thing that they can do for me right now. So yeah, the main goal of my turn 1 is to give him 0 charges except for the 1 charge I wanted him to have. The Stampede has a variety of options depending on what he wild charges. But the Soul Flayers in the forest will be able to see him wherever he goes, if he does take a charge.
Got you. So long term, you're thinking hold him back as long as you possibly can before engaging, chip a bit of damage, and then, just grind him out? Is that the kind of thought process?
Yep. Every turn that I can shoot at the Longhorns is value for me. The more of those I blow up before he goes, the better.
That is a good tactic. How have you been finding the Nightstalkers then over the tournament with the new unit specifically you've been taking?
I'm not a big fan of Bloodworms. I'm not. Normally I take 2 Hordes of Butchers instead, which I prefer much more over them. I just kind of wanted to see how +1 Nerve and Fury for no point cost is a pretty serious upgrade. So kind of wanted to try them out. Would much rather have had 2 Hordes of Butchers in this list, as well as a Portal of Despair, which I bring in every competitive build normally. 4 matchups like this where he has only a handful of Inspiring units. There's nothing worse than getting a Boxcar on like a Fiend Horde on turn 2 or 3 from just a lucky mortar hit or whatever.
Yeah.
When you can't do anything about it. It always sucks. But that's kind of the cost of getting stealthy. Nightstalkers can turn the game into who rolled 6s first and most, especially in a shooting matchup, which this isn't going to be, but it's still something that I have to worry about because I can't really kill his Druid or his Great Chieftain early, because I'm going to probably desperately need that for when these Longhorns hit.
Okie doke. So you've thought it out. We'll see how that kind of pans out over in turn 3, and then obviously beyond. You guys got any other questions you want to ask him while Joe's here? Silence I'll take as a no. So
Other than can these soul flayers see? Because that is the question of the turn.
I'm
I
sure
think
he's waiting for me to come back to ask about it.
I think so. So we'll leave you to it, and good
All
luck,
right.
and we'll catch you up in a couple of turns. All right.
I'll see you then. Also, your turn number's wrong. It's top of 2.
Oh,
Hey, look, if I got the turn numbers right, I'd be Mike Adkins, all right? But I'm not, so just leave me alone.
All right. I'll see you guys on turn 3, I guess.
Cheers, Joe. See you later.
all right. See you then.
Right. I mean, honestly, if I had got the turn markers done, somebody thinking John's been replaced by somebody more competent. Okay, so we are top 2.
We are.
So I guess it's the same thing we were saying about what Sam would want to do is be aggressive. Joey wants to avoid that as much as possible. The longer he's chipping damage away, the happier he's going to be. And I think he's right. If he can get those longhorns down, the last thing you want to have is like a longhorn charge when you've already got a damaged unit, do you? 15 attacks, crush on Thunder 1, hitting on 3s. That's what the longhorns are made for.
It is a really good second line unit like this. It's really good. Joey just happens to have exactly what it takes to shoot them anyway. And a hill.
And the hill.
Mm-hmm. So Sam, because of that, and especially if he's able to get these lichens up, needs to be a lot more aggressive in the middle this turn. I think, anyway.
Right. Apparently they're calling this out of line of sight.
Which is so close that, sure, whatever they call, we'll go
exactly.
with.
Yeah. I'm not sure what his plan is with the Beast of Nature, though. It seems like it's going to waste a couple of more turns.
The one on the right-hand side here.
Yeah.
I think he had to pivot and fly 20 to get out of their arc. I liked it a lot more when he just went forward and then pivoted, so he was facing left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of thing you'd wanted to have set up on turn 1 is to have the Beast of Nature here, flat 90, wouldn't you? So that when he did back up, because the Soul Flayers aren't nimble, so you're not able to back up and turn, he could have shot up and then spun. But it's one of those things that's very easy to miss. It's one of the things that we all do wrong as well. It's like that unit of knights that happens to be on the flank. You move forward your turn and then realize you've got nowhere to back off when something big and scary comes around the corner.
Yeah, and he's, I don't know. I'm not thrilled about that positioning. Or the avatars, for that matter. So what he did was he kept him just out of 20 of the Soul Flayers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it's doing there, other than keeping the Soul Flayers from moving up.
Yeah.
Or threatening anything that charges those 2 units.
Does he have range to charge anything that charges?
He does. Something that charges the Gur Panthers could then get charged by the Avatar. Yeah. But the Soul Flayers would die to the Lichens anyway, and the Bloodworms will not die to a double charge of the Lichens and the Avatar. So I don't see how much that's really helping him.
Okie doke. So this is still Sam pondering what he's going to do, it looks like.
Yeah,
hopefully
I
haven't dropped down.
Shakira gave him some hard.
Is he backing up?
And that's movement done. So the Stampede has.
The Stampede backed up a little. Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
To get the long arms out of.
He tried a heal, but unfortunately that was a lot of 1s and 2s. I know that
2
pain.
fails and then a Conjurer's Staff and then another fail. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's getting out now. You know, when he needs the Bane chart, which is the same roll, he'll get it every time now. He used it all up. If only that was the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the Lichens could be all right, but the Bloodworms have got Archon to this.
Oh, we lost John.
Yes.
We can still yeah, his UB's still up, which is interesting. What he was saying was the Bloodworms could charge the Panthers, which they could.
Oh, and there goes the UB.
John. Oh
All
boy.
right.
Okay. So lovely. Since
Right.
John was the one hosting, one of us can't just load up our UB. Great. Okay.
So we just have to talk about something while we wait for Jonathan to rescue us. So it seems like it's Joey's turn. He charged the Girl Panthers with the Soul Flares. Maybe not
Okay.
the biggest.
Yeah.
There. And he's moving up with the Soul Flares on the right, which means it puts some pressure on the Avatar Father to do something.
Right. But that's also going to put the Soul Flayers within range to just be charged by the Avatar. So
Oh, yeah.
that might be the something that he does.
Yeah, I think that's his plan. Just now both his flyers spending time long away from the rest of the battle. I don't think the Beast of Nature can, in one turn, get in a good position to attack the rear of Joey's line.
It can't.
Maybe if it turn... No, he's just not fast enough to get past, clear the building with a 90 turn.
From that position, I'd probably rather just spin it around and go right behind the Soul Flayers.
Yeah.
Like the bottom side of the building, but that's...
Yep.
Such weird movements to make.
Yeah, looking in, yeah. And they perhaps gets a flank of the Bloodworms. Next turn.
I'm very curious to see what he does with these Bloodworms. Because one issue is with the Lycans being...
back, but you can't hear him.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
now
we
we
can.
You can hear me. Oh, I don't even know what happened there.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to load up. Carry on.
All right. So, Joey is going to have a little bit of trouble moving the Bloodworms up in a way that doesn't get them flanked by Lycans. But with how he was talking about playing a slower game, maybe he doesn't even move them up and just keeps sitting back and shooting and makes Sam do something.
But as it stands, the Lycans can't get to the Bloodworms' flank.
Right, because he didn't move the Bloodworms.
Or because the Soul Flares are in the way.
Right.
Okay.
They are nimble, but not that nimble.
Right.
So,
Not that nimble.
They're not that nimble.
How nimble are you? I'm not that nimble. So this is bottom of 2 as well, isn't it? I better make sure I'm on brand.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Depending on what these Rift Weavers do, though, he might have a flank on the Fiends.
oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Now, that would be dependent on the Gur Panthers dying, which is likely, and then what the Soul Flayers do after combat. They might prevent it.
It would be a hindered flank if they didn't end up going that way, but it could.
Fit?
Oh!
At least now they can't fit.
Not anymore, they can't. Okay.
No, for sure they can't.
Yeah, and the Rift Weavers are keeping him... Oh.
That's not a legal move.
You definitely can't do that, Joey.
And of course, they started there, and he only moved them sideways. Yeah, because they
Might be
started in that
Oh,
position.
you're right. They did. They did.
Because for some reason, my computer just exploded for about 5 seconds. We missed all this shenanigans. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pivot in place. He's keeping the Lycans in the flank, probably on purpose to keep them from charging the Bloodworms at all.
Yeah.
He's keeping out of maximum charge range of those Guardian Brutes that are hiding in the woods still.
And out of the arc of the Avatar of the Father. The Guardian Brutes can charge, can't they?
Which ones?
Oh, onto the Rift Weavers, yeah. or not.
But that's the temptation, isn't it?
They
And
still
I think
can. That's
Joey's
only
throwing
12
that out.
now.
Joey's throwing that
Yeah.
out to tempt Sam into charging, and so he can counter charge. Because I think, although with the hammer measured force, the bloodworms maybe not, but fiends would definitely kill one of the Guardian Brute units, especially with elite.
They also, it's going to be very difficult to charge that Riftweaver, and then either the Bloodworms or the Soul Flayer will get a flank on you.
That is. I'd have thought he would maybe be wanting to get the Riftweaver in combat, but they're only movement 6, aren't they? Is that right? Just double checking here now.
I think so.
Yes, the Riftweavers are movement 6. And nimble, but only movement 6, so...
So I don't know at that stage
I
whether
think
you'd
using
want to maybe throw them in the face, just say, right, okay, you either charge me or I'm going to charge you, and in the meantime, stuff is going to move up behind it.
I don't think he needs to be that aggressive, though. He's doing the shooting. He's getting all his annoying flying individuals out of arcs. He's positioning the Soul Flayers. I think Riftweaver as bait for a bad charge is probably its best use. And then he just keeps shooting.
The Avatar could get a charge on the Riftweaver at the moment. One of the changes is that it's not individual anymore, is it? Is that right? So this is... I'll have to double check that now.
The Riftweaver?
Yeah,
No.
it used to be individual. But
No, it's
not
just
anymore.
a nimble monster.
So, yeah, a flank charge from an Avatar of the Father, it's only going to put him in a bad position, isn't it? Because all that's going to happen is then you're going to get a Bloodworms coming on. I think the Avatar of the Father is going to have to take on these Soul Flayers next turn. So that's kind of his role, I think, isn't it? We're allowing the Beast of Nature to then fly over, position himself from somewhere over here.
Yeah, we were talking while you were out that we don't see where that positioning is going to be with where the Beast was, which I guess you pivot, move 10 and pivot. No, I don't know what that Beast is going to do. It doesn't seem to have it doesn't have options that I like all that much.
Because he's only really going to be able to land in kind of this area here, around here. Which does mean it is going to be, from that position, you're going to be basically ranging up to about there with your charge, and you're just offering charging to the flank, which with the Bloodworms aren't going to really care, but the Fiends will.
Right.
I like these. I think the Soul Flayers are a much maligned unit, but I actually really like them as a unit.
They're really good.
I mean, it's very easy to get lost in the fact that they offer Wind Blast, but they hit on 3s, Crush 1, Thunder 1. With 9 attacks, they were good. 12 attacks, they're awesome.
Yeah, defense 4, 13, 15. I guess the idea is that's a little fragile for 165, but it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Not bad. Especially with Stealthy in there.
You compare that to the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Longhorns are 14, 16, and they're 200 points, and they don't fly 10.
Right. And they're not stealthy.
They're not stealthy. They're not Mind Thirst as well, which is detrimental to start off with, but once the fight gets in, it's just as good as having Inspiring.
Twilight King Nightstalkers, more expensive, less durable.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh, he just went right for the Stampede.
And got lucky. Look at that. 3 damage.
Mm-hmm.
On 5s and 4s with 6 shots, 3 damage is just like, really?
And they are measuring range to those Longhorns from the one on the hill, and they absolutely can shoot them.
Yes.
Or maybe they're just showing, I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Or it
They
missed.
could try to shoot them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
there you go. No
There's UB
hits.
dice balance. There you go. Bang.
Yeah.
The damage on the Longhorns was a lot more important than the damage on the Stampede, though.
He'll get there.
Okay. Nerve test on the Stampede. Nothing happens. Unless that was a Bane chant, I guess. But the Soul Flayers didn't need a Bane chant, so I'm guessing that was the nerve test.
I'm assuming so. text them again, Thomas, just to make sure that they're actually typing out what they're doing during the game, because we just get lost
Said
sometimes.
they were doing, but
They've been using the little discs. It's just when it comes to like rolling for a nerve test or something like that, it'd be just good to know.
Okay. That must have been the nerve test because they're going on to combat now. And we only have one combat. Soulflayer's beating up Gur Panthers.
This should be,
Yep,
3s and 2s.
12
She was
dice.
doing it well. Yeah. Just say a little bit clearer, Thomas. You're doing well,
Yep.
but just a little bit better.
Okay. A normal roll, but a normal roll means dead Panthers.
Oh yeah, 9-11 nerve. These guys are going to get splatted.
Oh! Huh. So the question now is, do the lichens have room to pivot 90 degrees?
If you ask me, no.
And I don't
because
think
you
they
need
do.
an inch, just under an inch, don't you, to do that? So
I don't think they have it. Huh.
but they can double charge.
double
And by
charge.
double charging, the Panthers will move along enough to fit the
The lichens.
lichens, and then what will happen is the Panthers can then overrun and block up the bloodworms. So that's
And then
not a bad
the
result.
Avatar goes and fights the players that would be rear charging them. And then the
Your
middle
opponent's
needs
rolling
to be
double
more
ones.
aggressive, Sam. The middle needs to be more aggressive.
I don't
Yep.
know why I didn't charge the Longhorns with Shakira.
Again, playing the long game, I don't know. Because the thing is, she doesn't kill Longhorn unit in one go, will she?
No.
Will she?
Then-
7 attacks. Dread.
5 attacks only.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So she doesn't kill them, and then they crack
Hmm.
back, and 15 dice, 3s and 4s
Yeah, I
really
can see
makes
that
her
now.
worry.
She does, though,
That's
now
good.
start to threaten things like the Beast of Nature that's just kind of flown over. So whether she can see the Beast of Nature,
Mm-hmm.
that'll be a question for them.
Um,
It'll be close. She might be able to pivot to be able to see it.
the issue with that is I don't think grounding it does Joey any good with her in the flank.
No, but the Beast of Nature itself doesn't really threaten Shakira that much. So she's attacking them back. Does stop them flying over and hitting the fiends in the flank. So if they require a fly. But
If that requires a fly, right? Maybe he
Yeah,
can just
yeah.
run forward and flank something, though,
um,
depending on where Joey moves.
one thing I would say is that the shade has snuck in onto the flank here.
On the left? Yeah. Out of everybody's arc, except, I mean, the druid can't fight him.
The chieftain would possibly, but he's out of range.
Not at 18 inches, no.
So from there, I mean, she could snipe the last Longhorn unit, because she's going to be going in on 3s and 3s anyway without the Blade of the Beast Slayer. But she's not going to be as much use against the Stampede, being that it's a horde of animals, but they're actually chariots.
Yeah, the Chariot's the strange thing that gets no debuffs or no special rules hitting against them.
Right.
Yeah. But I think
No
chariots
phalanx.
they've struggled a little bit in the new edition because you just don't have they were far too good in previous editions in certain areas,
Yeah.
and then they've really got nerfed a little bit too much. So we're on that kind of place where what's
Yeah.
enough to make them usable again.
They've really struggled to get the balance on chariots right.
Yeah, I had to face the 4 Chariot hordes for Dragons list that Twilight Kid was running.
Oh, yep, that list.
Yeah, I actually beat it, but I think my opponent was just playing for fun and having a few too many drinks. So, but it was just a practice game anyway. So,
Sure.
yeah, it was a bit dreadful to look at it on the table.
It was too much, but what can you do?
Just checking. Oh, it's still live. Because I got a comment on the on the comment saying I can't see the match anymore. So I'm just checking to make sure we are actually live at the moment.
Oh, but that was 7 minutes
7
ago.
minutes ago,
So...
yeah. So I swear we'll be back. I've been back for 7 minutes.
Oh.
No, we're still streaming.
Um,
We're still streaming. We're good.
Yeah, you're
We're
right.
good.
Because it was about 10 minutes ago. You
Well, it's always the way
should
with these things.
say-
Maybe it took about 3 minutes for it to actually load up. There we go. I don't know
It
technology.
was 15 minutes ago that one of my locals commented about the whole "we don't have video" thing.
Oh, there comes the comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ed, there's always that,
Thanks, Ed.
helpful as always. Like it. Okay, so the father, he's gone in. Oh, there we go. We've gone into the shooting again. Again, the druid has only just about worked out how to heal something.
Okay, one. We also,
the lichens stayed where they were, though.
yeah, I don't know what. I don't
What the
know.
thought process. Well, he can't get charged at the moment by anything other than Shakira.
It might be that I didn't know if that the Panthers could slide over to accommodate.
Maybe
Could be.
As they can now because of the building, but if the building hadn't been there, they could not.
They'd still slide over enough for the lichens to maybe be able to.
They slide to the final
nonsense
spot, so they slide into the final spot. That's enough
Mhm.
space to fit the lichens on, based on how much space you'd need to get them in. So they would have been fine with a nimble move, because you could have turned them and hit them in the corner and then spun in. So I don't think that's a problem. Maybe he just decided he just didn't want to do it.
But in this situation it is correct. But it might be that he's thinking it only slide to the final spot, which is sharing the base 50-50.
Maybe.
But in this case, the final spot would be to allow for the lichens to be between the building and Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, the Panthers did a couple of damage, onto these soul flares,
and then
4 damage on
Golden
there.
8 for nerve, not even close. The Avatar also didn't kill them. And then Joey's just going to keep chipping away with lightning bolts.
Yeah, but he's going to have to turn up the face, because he needs a big win, regardless of what happened in my game earlier today.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But let's get Sam back in, and then he can explain.
Go in here and explain yourself.
Wow, John, that is...
What?
That's a lot. Okay.
What's a lot? What have I done wrong now? Okay. So hopefully Sam will be here in a second, and he can go through. Here we go. Look, Shakira is checking out whether she can fly over.
I'm with Ed.
Yeah. But how do you go
saying that the
rar?
whole game.
So rar is like a. Here we go. It's Sam. Here's Sam.
Hello.
Hi.
How do? So how's it going?
All very cagey at the moment. Ooh, that's a surprise.
Shakira charging the beast of nature.
Oops.
Okay.
She's only got 5 attacks. What are you going to worry about?
It's only in the flank. It's not going to stop me.
So how do you feel it's going at the moment?
Well, it's all being very cagey.
Do you think that's playing into your hands or into Joey's hands?
I don't know.
Come on, you've got to have a plan with this.
No. Sort of. Well, thing is, I kind of expected something to happen by now. No, my plan is sort of working, which is sort of big block of fairly long-range hitty stuff in the middle that's not doing too badly with the shooting. And my flanking force is doing very well. That double one was lovely.
I imagine it was, yeah. We were asking why didn't you put the Lycans into the Soul Players?
Because I don't want to give the Bloodworms a charge into them.
Okay.
Okay.
And if I kill the Soul Flayers, then the Bloodworms charge, and I'd rather have everything blocked up until I can really do something nasty. I mean, another double one would be great, because by that point I should have finished off the Soul Flayers as well, and then I can... Because nothing less than a triple charge is going to do anything to those Bloodworms, I think.
No, our big old blocker nerve.
I don't want to engage it too soon.
Okay. I think that's it. We haven't had much move on since turn 1. The plans stay the same. Anything else changed, do you think?
No, I've got all these individuals buzzing around that I think I just have to ignore, pretty much.
Oh, someone slap some Panthers. Yep. There we go.
Yep.
Right. Well, unless you guys else want to ask some questions of Sam while he's here.
I think we covered the big one, which was the Lycans not charging.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to engage until the beast had time. Until the beast had time to get round, and that looks good.
Patience is a virtue. Okay. Right. Well, what we'll do, we'll leave you to it, Sam. Good luck, buddy.
Okay.
And we'll catch you at the fini. What, you're laughing at my terrible joke?
Yes, I am laughing at your terrible jokes.
Well, then they're doing the thing I want them to do.
All right. So we also saw the shade go into one of the Panther troops, which might just kill them. They're squishy enough, or might not.
I think it's a good trade for Joe, but not a huge one. It's just a nice tidy up. I think I was always a little bit wary of those Panthers going around on the flank. I would have liked them to possibly still be able to charge the front of the Soul Flayers.
Sure. And they could just flank the Soul Flayers if this shade doesn't kill them.
It's true. It was only stopping the Soul Flayers I was more concerned about, so that you could then move units up.
The forests are disappearing.
What is going on? Oh, they might have just... I know what they did. They wanted to check the footprint of the forests, which can be a little bit hard to see with the trees.
I'd have just used the trees as the footprint. Anyway,
yeah,
that's what they must have decided to do.
Yes. I'm not sure I agree entirely with Sam after our conversation here about this combat, because as I said, I think you could jam up the Bloodworms with the Panthers. Yeah,
absolutely could have done things after combat to keep the Bloodworms from charging the Lycans. For sure.
Sometimes you just don't see it, do you? You know, and playing on some players are a little bit more cautious. I think you always have to laugh at my jokes, right? Or I'll just cut you from the screen.
Yeah, he has permission to. I'm pointing at John, not Thomas. To choose who is and isn't here. So
yeah, I'll just put you on mute permanently. It's just like Carl is here, but shut up. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm not that way. I don't need to get that kind of power.
This is also just cover up for John not knowing StreamYard well enough to know how to do that. But
look, right, I know it well. I'm just rubbish at using it and remembering when to do. Oh, we're at bottom of 3 as well. Are we at bottom 3?
Yes, it is bottom of turn 3 because Joey went second.
They haven't switched their turn markers either, so.
Oh, that's right.
That's fine. One of us is keeping track. It's not me. Okay.
But
So
they're
so
doing
the
well.
two individuals going in, I think Shakira going in. I think you're right, Carlos. It doesn't do a huge amount. It does possibly
doesn't
tap
do
up a bit
anything
of
for him.
damage. It puts him closer
But-
if he does get a counter charge that you could kill a beast of nature and is less threatening
Right.
overall.
Doesn't keep the beast of nature from doing anything. I guess it prevents
No.
flying 20 behind and then pivoting to threaten returns on everything, but there's so much the beast of nature can still do this turn.
Yeah, but 14 attacks into the flanks of the bloodworms is not going to do a huge amount if he's got nothing else to hit them with.
No. But if those lichens hit the front as well,
They'd have to be able
Or-
to see, because don't forget these soul
Oh,
flares are going to go
wait.
block line of sight to the worms. So he's only going to be able to see through
Or-
a little gap here.
if the guardian brutes were closer and could charge things, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
They
it just?
rather want to hide in the forest for now.
I can understand it when you see lightning bolts coming from giant gribbly monsters flying, right? You know, well, massive mutant brains, aren't they? Just bzz, you want to hide.
But we don't know Sam's tactics. Maybe he's banking on draw. That
As in,
would be enough to
Oh,
right,
pull
okay.
through.
Do you think a draw would qualify him? Have we?
Well, that is
yeah,
an interesting point, isn't it?
I
don't know
don't
how to-
Should I
know.
stop bringing it up?
I don't
No,
know.
I think it
have
should be
not
good.
looked at the scores closely enough.
All right. What I'll do is once they've Joey's come in for his third turn wrap up. What we'll do is we'll just go over the connotations with the groups so far, because we've already had one result come in, so we know where everybody is positioned. We don't have to tell them; that would be boring.
No, but we can talk about it after Joey, because
can talk
again,
about
I
it
don't
after
know
Joey.
either. Thomas, I assume, knows because he was there, but
You might have
But
forgotten. You just like,
I didn't hand in the scores, so I'm not completely sure.
what are you trying to say? That Joey may have fudged it? We'll find out when I show you. No.
right. So we have one
No, I
Mindscape
trust Andrew.
whiffing into the stampede.
But what was I saying? Yeah, but I don't know if you're concerned about people watching the stream or passing on information, but I guess that's not a big issue.
I'm going to be looking to you, everybody in the stream, and you go, you're not going to be passing on this information. Okay.
Oh, that might get him there. 6.
6
is a
damage onto
lot.
the Longhorns. Yeah.
Probably a 7 twice because it looks like he never got the other unit in range to rally him.
Nope. And the druid couldn't heal for Toffee.
Well, the druid was healing the chariots anyway.
True. That's a waiver.
Waiver.
Another waiver.
Mhm.
Saved by rolling 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Minotaur chariots, they're herd, aren't they? Are they herd? That's a good question, actually.
Oh, do they not get rallied?
If they're not herd, they don't. I can't remember. Doo-boo-doo.
They are.
They have the herd keyword.
Okay,
So they do
so
get
yeah,
rallied.
they do get rallied. So yeah, because the Stampede is now 16-18, isn't it?
Right.
On the nerve.
So
that's 18-20. You know, you're starting to compete against.
18-20 is such a tough unit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, lots of things that is not heard, I see in this list.
Yes.
Is there
But the Guardian
Panthers
Brutes,
are
are they
not.
heard? The Guardian Brutes are?
the Guardian
are.
Brutes are? So the Panthers, the Beast of Nature, those are probably the only ones.
Lichens are
Lycans?
Oh, Lycans are
Druid is
not. Druid's not. Ooh.
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
from
that's-
the shade. That's a really good shade roll.
I'd only maybe slightly above. Is it 3s and 2s, isn't it?
Yeah.
With 5 of damage. A 6 wouldn't get them normally, but she's got dread, so we'll get them.
Okay. And really, he
Shade's
just
not
needed
great.
the waiver.
They're expensive shades. I mean, what you're talking 150, aren't you? But either that 135, but they're worth the points because they're just so utility. A little sneaky backup. Put himself into range of a few more things. Where are we going to next? Are we over onto here, onto these soul flares?
Oh, soul flares into the avatar.
He's just hoping for as much damage as possible here because that's all he's got, hasn't
Right. He got the hits.
he? Oh, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, 4. 4 is good.
Yeah, it's a 6 damage. Not
Or
bad.
6. Wow. 6. He was on 4s. He got 6.
Yeah.
But 15, the avatar doesn't care, but 6 damage.
15. Total, what's his nerve anyway?
He's a 17, 19, and he has fury. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
But he doesn't have any damage mitigation, though, does he? This is one of the things with, like, they can be really fragile a herd army because you just end up with. I mean, that's why I like Lycan so much, is that they are, with the regen, they just give you that little bit of survivability against some of those little chip damages like that. But here we go, Shakira. Those hips are dangerous. So what are you thinking then, after all the damage is done here, is going to be Sam's moves for next turn? Because obviously the Avatar's going to continue to hope he kills these soul flares.
5 damage on the beast of nature.
Ooh, okay.
Hits
don't
lie.
lie. Oh my god.
Well, the thing is with Dread as well, she was then on a 9 to waver it. But 5, I mean, 5 damage again. I mean, it just puts that beast of nature in a position where if he does get a counter attack with the fiends because he's been charged on the flank and doesn't die, then he could do quite a serious amount of damage. Well, got not a serious amount of damage. He's more likely to kill it. Soul Flares, who failed abysmally last time round against the cats.
I mean, it's the nerve test that matters. They're just going to clean them up otherwise.
I don't know. I've rolled like 12 attacks and hit like 3 times. I suppose
even
is enough.
But at this point, why did he even countercharge? Couldn't he just, okay, you don't want to fight me. Maybe I should just stay here and delay more.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Keeps the Lycans out of the game. But now, of course, the Lycans will be afraid that they will have be charged by the Bloodworms.
Do you just push forward with the soul flayers here? And really just get up in the Lycan's face and keep him from pivoting anywhere?
I think you do, because the soul flayers are, if you can ground them in place. The one thing it will do, though, by doing that, it means that there's no way that he's going to get the bloodworms in, because the soul flayers might not. No, actually, no. Yeah, he's just going to go straight in, which he should have done last turn. Let's be honest, guys. This would have been. There wouldn't have been a soul flare unit here, probably, and then he'd have had access to all this stuff here.
Do you think the Hard Rift Weavers will have a charge on the Beast of Nature if it goes into the Bloodworms?
Which way are they facing?
Yes, absolutely they do.
I think the bloodworms finish off though, a Beast of Nature with a return with a counter charge. But then I suppose you don't want that, do you? You're going to go for the Lycans, aren't you? Afterwards, one or the other.
Yeah, and then they can just put the Rift Weaver and Shakira in on the Beast again. Probably take it off.
And that'll finish off the Beast. The Rift Weaver alone can really scare the Beast at 10 damage or at 5 damage already.
Yeah. It's only crush 1 though, isn't it? So yeah, but that's
so many
DC plus 6 attacks in the flank.
Doubled. Yeah.
We're just waiting for Joey to come back in as well, aren't we? So we can see his plan. Oh, see how his plan is going.
Did you ping Joey to remind him? Oh, there it is.
Just did. So yeah, so do you feel it's more kind of going in Sam's favor or Joey's favor at the moment? I think it's very close. There's not a massive amount in it.
Definitely.
But I think you're right. It's kind of edging that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Have Joey lost anything?
Hello. Here we go.
All right. What's
Hey,
up,
Joe.
everybody?
There's
How
Joey.
is it going?
Hello.
How is it going?
Well, Snake Eyes kind of sucked, but is also kind of nice at the same time. I was at least in a position to take one Snake Eyes there. That it was disappointing, but I'll take it because an extra turn where the Lycans don't do anything is kind of a win in my book.
we were talking about maybe you just don't countercharge and let the Panthers sit there, but
I could have, I guess. Both ways end up fine, I think. Shakira doing 5 wounds to the Beast of Nature is pretty massive for me.
that was a lot.
Yeah, I was expecting like 4, because there's the Vicious from the Aura on her, but I'll take 5 any day. Because sometimes you get 0. That happens too.
Yeah.
And that was also on the other Gur Panthers on the left. The
Yeah,
Shade
hitting 4 there.
obviously had a good chance of killing them, but also had a good chance of just not killing them.
Yeah, I would have been happy with a waiver. Ultimately, the charges he had available wouldn't have affected my turn, unless he got a lucky waiver on the Fiend board in the flank. But 12 attacks, 4s and 4s, as long as I'm keeping him in my side so he's not obstructing their threat range, I was pretty content with it. But especially because now it's turn 4, he's going to have to be a lot more aggressive, and I can start picking and choosing my spots.
Yeah, and we can see that happening.
Go Longhorns!
He's being more aggressive, like you said.
Yeah, well, the downside is Guardian Brutes can one-shot Bloodworm. It's UB, so you never know what can happen. 30 hits on Forest can be 2, or it can be 28 very easily on this. And the same way my way. I could just as easily snake the Longhorns again. I'm probably going to not countercharge the Beast of Nature with the Bloodworms.
Okay. Click the undo everything button.
The undo everything. Yeah.
The Keith Randall.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You know, you go back to real life, don't you? And you go, oh, so I can't just pick up stuff, put it down, and then expect to be able to pull it back. Yeah. So you're fairly content then at the moment. You're feeling it's smoothing out. Well,
he didn't just go all into me, which is kind of what I wanted. So the way I've kind of want this to go is it's going to rely on my turn 6, and at the moment I have 9 unit strength in the center right now. He's only got 6. It's going to be pretty hard for him to get more.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That sounds like pretty confident. We'll see how it looks when we get to the end.
The shade clearing those Panthers on the left opens up the Soul Flares a ton. I can be a lot more free with them.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit like it was a free, it was a gimme almost, wasn't it, with those guys? But that happens on occasions, and you could easier failed to kill them as well.
Yeah, if I failed, he could throw at least wounds out on the Fiends, which would be a problem. I don't have heal on this list, so any wounds on the Fiends is pretty problematic. The Stampede shouldn't kill them in 1 turn, but you put 3 wounds on it, and suddenly you will.
Okie doke. Right. Well, I'd imagine you want to get back to it and find out what the hell Sam's doing with his moving.
Yeah.
You guys got any other questions just before he goes? No, silence is good. Right. So, good luck, Joe. I hope it all plans out, and we'll catch you on the end. All right.
All right. I'll see you guys then.
Have fun.
All right. So it does look like Sam is being aggressive in the middle. He's just being aggressive differently than before he undid everything, which is fine. But
using the Longhorns as chaff. Yeah. I mean,
sure.
It's not a bad move. I mean, what, they're 135, aren't they? So there's not a huge expense going out for it.
Well,
And the things with the Longhorns as well, that you, because of their range, he's going to have a charge no matter what. So you have to go in with something.
yeah. What he did with the undos is initially he was giving Guardian Brutes, giving Soul Flayers flank charges on Guardian Brutes.
Yeah.
And he undid all of that. So now one of them's got them both in the front. The other has them both out of range.
I think a double charge by Soul Flayers, you've got a half decent chance of. I mean, it depends on where these.
He
I don't know
can't
why the
do a
Stampede
double
is
charge,
moving up.
though.
Pardon?
Can't he though? Goes to the left and
He
charge
can
the
at the
left
moment
most.
here. So there's
Yep.
enough space at the middle on this one here. Is that it? So he's moved.
Oh, there's
There's
enough space
here.
between. Oh, there is. I didn't think there was, but there is.
Because this is a. It will be a hindered charge. Oh, what was that? Oh, look at that!
That's
He can
the healing.
heal. He
One
can
of them will be
heal.
hindered.
Pardon?
Yeah, one of them will be hindered. He
Yeah.
can't get the shade into combat. It's a little too far.
Is it a little bit too far? Can get his dread in range though. That's
He
one
could,
thing.
but then he just puts the shade right in front of the Stampede, and he probably doesn't want to do that.
I don't know if Stampede really want to attack something like that, but I suppose they do.
Or
Where are we going? All right.
behind the fence.
Oh, that's not good on the Avatar of the Father. And a 6 is 13.
13?
Still in the game. But
Oh
wavered.
no, they're wavered. Oh, Avatar.
Oh, this is. I've done the turn marker again. Turn
Yeah.
marker. Turn
But with even
marker.
2 more damage, routing on 6 twice is not a good chance.
No.
It's just. I mean, it is just synonymous with not going aggressive enough to start off with, possibly early for Sam. Because on the right hand side, if he was a turn ahead, that wouldn't be too bad a result. But because he's maybe a turn behind, he didn't force the issue first turn. That he's kind of put himself in a position like this. Because at the moment, the father's only going to be able to turn round in turn 5, and then he's only got one turn, one turn to do anything.
To crash the middle and do something. Okay, Beast of Nature does 9.
Oh,
Which
that's
is pretty
better.
good. Like 9's a decent roll for it. Not great, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
Was it 3s and 2s, 14 dice? Yeah,
And then Vicious.
exactly. Yeah, the vicious really makes it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ooh. Yeah, these are some dead.
But are we saying also maybe a turn 2? He's going to have to mind thirst him.
Yep.
A turn too late, isn't it? Really?
Oh, it was really roll nerve rolls. So it was.
4 did it though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did a lot of damage. So.
Mm-hmm. And then you
could
spin them-
sidestep to avoid the horror. Because if he sidesteps enough, I mean, you're going to need a 3 to do it. He
I'm not
could
sure
end up
that
being.
helps.
to get
Isn't
the horror in
going
his
into
flank,
the
you mean? I'm not sure what you mean.
Because the horrors at the moment are facing this way.
Yeah, but they will
So
go
if
in
he
the flank of the
sidesteps
beast,
this way-
right?
Pardon?
The horror
Yeah, they're
should
in the
go
flank of the
Oh,
beast.
the Rift Weaver. You're talking about the Rift
Yeah.
Weaver.
Yes, horror
Oh,
Rift Weaver, yeah.
No, I think you just pivot in because that horror is flanking the Beast of Nature.
Yeah,
And
but
if
he
it
doesn't
hits
know that yet. I mean, at the moment, he could put the horror Rift Weavers into the Beast of Nature and then charge with the worms into the Lycans.
Is there a way to pivot the lichen so that the worms will be hindered on the fence?
No, but he backed them. He's looking at a backup makes it happen. But he also could do it with a pivot, or he just backs up 3 inches like that and gets it.
Yep.
But I think he could have
Just
done
get
it with
yeah.
a pivot without having to roll.
Yes, it's a less risky option, isn't it?
But that move puts them in inspiring from the Avatar of the Father.
Oh, he's very inspiring. Yeah.
Were they not already in range, though?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Probably. They would have been out.
It's a
3
bit
inches
difficult
forward,
sometimes
they would have
to
been out.
read the ranges because the units is split. So
Could have
when
been
you
close,
were
but
measuring from
any
the-
pivot.
Yeah.
A pivot would have put him out at least.
A pivot would have put him out. Yeah. Okay, so where do we think Joey's going to go with? Do you think he's going to just because he's got a Fiend's attack onto the Guardian Brutes here? He's got the Fiends coming down the hill onto any of these Longhorns, but that's it. And then he's got the Soul Flares as well to charge.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Shady's going to strip the Thunderous. I'll hope he does, because don't forget it's on 3s and 4s, because he doesn't get the Blade of the Beast Slayer. I think all that does as well is means that the Stampede, if he does get the Thunderous, great, because the Thunderous 2, Crush 1, aren't they?
Crush 1, Thunder 2, yeah.
So that does take a fair bit of their hitting power, but not a huge amount, because you're only talking defense 4 units over here. But what it does mean is that these Longhorns don't die for whatever reason. They will smash him.
Oh, he did take this one.
Yeah.
Into the Lycans. Interesting. So he must be doing Bloodworms and a Sinistra into the Beast.
I think Bloodworms do it by themselves, though, because I think Bloodworms, what are they, 30 attacks, aren't they? Hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s?
4s and 4s.
So it's 7 damage.
They
he only needs to do 5
probably
damage.
do it on their own.
5 damage would more than likely give you a waiver. Admittedly, you could put Inshira in, and that kind of guarantees it.
I don't think he wants the Longhorns to charge the Bloodworms.
Right. You also need to do something to make sure the Longhorns don't charge Bloodworms.
Correct.
Right.
And I think Inshira is probably looking at those those Longhorns as a juicy target.
And they just kill her.
Mm-hmm. They will just kill her as well. They will just spank her. I would you also then possibly throw this Mind Screech into the flank of the Longhorns? Because by doing that, you would actually kill them. And you'd also could use the Mind Screech as a blocker for these Guardian Brutes by just sidestepping it into the way.
Yeah, not a bad idea, but you also want to lightning bolt away those Longhorns at the bottom.
And I think you could do it with this one, because don't forget, he's got movement 5 or 6 with the...
So the other one...
Nimble and fly. So
nimble up to the top where this one is.
Take that exact same position and keep shooting.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he is turning the Bloodworms into the Beast, which means something's going to need to deal with those Longhorns. It is Sinistra. Which is a very risky play, because she might just die.
I think what we might see is these Soul Flares darting out and boxing in these two units as well. The only thing is that is she mighty?
She has to be. Or if not, she'll do one.
No, it's not that.
Yeah,
it's the
mighty.
Guardian Brutes afterwards.
She's
I'm thinking
mighty.
She's mighty. Okay.
If she does somehow kill them, you mean?
If she said that, so yeah, and that's it. If she does kill him, then the Guardian Brutes have got to run through.
Yeah, then the Guardian Brutes come in and kill her.
Yeah. But it protects the Bloodworms, which are the important thing at the moment, aren't they?
Is he taking the double? Let's see what he does. Nope, single.
No.
He should actually be hindered there.
Why?
Because you have to, when you're flying, you have to clear every stage of flying, of the charge, to be able to complete it. So he could do it. Pardon? Yeah. If you look up the rule fly, you have to complete every step of the charge to be able to use the fly to get in. So you can't make contact with a unit without being clear of all the other units. So where he would make contact would be probably somewhere where he would end up being clipping this wall.
Yeah, but is that when you check if you're hindered, or do you only check if you're hindered on your final position?
I think
It's a very good point, actually.
I'm looking up fly right now because I don't know the answer to that question.
It's a very good question, isn't it?
Unless the unit ends its move within or touching.
Okay. So he would be hindered, so it would be fine.
Is how it is worded in the book.
It was an interesting point. A lot of people realize that.
Now, he would be hindered if he took the double charge we were talking about. And I do like that double. It's risky, but there's real chance of just killing the brutes with it.
Well, it's 24 attacks, isn't it? They do have fury, don't they? They have fury, so they're always going to be able to attack back, but there'll be a lot of pain.
So it'd be 12 on 3s and 2s and 12 on 4s and 3s.
Yeah.
So Shakira ran away again.
Oh, is he looking at other options?
Maybe charge the fiends down now that he's blocked off one of the brutes.
Because really all he did was he undid the charge. But he did it manually instead of with the undo button.
Yeah, because he didn't want to undo the soul flares as well.
Right. So, yeah, that could mean putting fiends into Longhorns. But that just kills fiends unless something blocks those brutes.
And if she is mighty, it doesn't matter. She can't get to the other side of the Longhorns.
No.
So.
Okay.
Now the fiends, yeah, they should do that unit, but on 5s to hit, if he doesn't go for, ooh, look at this.
It says striders. I guess that's the ones with the boots of striding.
Those must be the ones with the boots of striding too. Yeah, and that he definitely has that flank.
Does he have line of sight though?
Is what he was checking.
Well, he does, yeah, because he's height 4.
And absolutely,
so he can see over the top.
See over the hill. Yep. And then after this kill, he can use the pivot to block the Guardian Brutes. Probably. He'll end up having to be a little bit careful of his fiends, I think. Because they might mess up the pivot unless he sidesteps with them or pivots them or something.
All he has to do with these soul flares is pretty much stay there. Then
that's a good point. He can just stay there.
He's just acknowledging they're going to die to the frontal charge. So what does the difference does it make if you hit the flank? Although they're still in the front, aren't they? From
they
there,
are in the front
from here.
Right now. Yep.
So,
and
yeah,
then he's making room to get both Mind Screeches on the hill.
Here we go. Hide from this, mofo.
And despite all this stuff in between, there is no cover.
Yeah, that's like, Horde of Fiends, Soul Flares, Stampede, Guardian Brutes, everything is. But they're staying there up on top of their hills, floating.
He's height 8.
Because this guy doesn't have an arc to the fiends. I don't know he could possibly get an arc. Oh, pardon me. No, he's definitely got an arc, I think, to these guys. The little sneaky chieftain.
Yeah, the chieftain could get the fiends.
Just pin him in place for a turn.
Right, because the chieftain won't kill the fiends.
No.
Do they kill him, though?
Yeah, because he's, 13, 15 nerve, like defense 4 or 5? I don't know what he is, actually. Let's check on the old lists. So the Great Chieftain, defense 5, 12, 14 nerve. Although if there's any Longhorns left, he'll get rallied.
But that's looking unlikely.
I think the only big risk, I mean, he's put Shakira into a place where she can dread everything. With that, I think these Longhorns are going to die, barring some horrible rolls.
Okay.
These Guardian Brutes are not going to die, I don't think. But they could take a lot of damage.
That would take a lot. And we'll see the lightning bolts, which are pretty likely at this stage to clean these Longhorns up.
Here we go. Some lightning bolts.
4s and 3s.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely 4s and 3s.
And this, of course, they've been, give him extra defense. Ooh. He got the 1 point of damage at least, so one would have done something.
Yeah, will he be satisfied with that?
No. Go for the kill.
They're no longer rallied, so he needs some pie twice.
I don't think a lightning bolt on another unit matters enough.
Yeah.
you just go for the kill.
Good way over the chieftain.
You could hit the chieftain or the druid. The druid's the only one I might hit. Ooh, getting greedy. Just putting damage on these guys.
Yeah, you'll take that.
Let's see if the greed pays off.
Haha.
Oh, this has to be on the fiends, right? Yep.
Yeah.
And he gets it.
Yeah, I suppose they were on 3s, weren't they? Yeah, because there's only crush 1. Yeah.
Yes. He does have the other unit positioned on the hill, but not this unit. Or he can just roll really well for nerf test and have it not matter. It was a 5, right?
Yeah, but 10 and
But
12.
I don't know
He's
how
used
much
up all his
good
good
this
stuff.
3 damage on Minotaur does. Oh! Yeah. He rolled a 5 and nothing happened.
Imagine he'd done it the other way around, though. He'd have gone, yeah, wavered. Done.
No, 5 is enough, I think. They were on 7, and they didn't have any rally left.
Yes.
So
Now he's talking about these Guardian Brutes. If he didn't, no, because 10 plus 3, it wouldn't have been a waiver. So yeah, either way, it'd have been fine.
Right.
Okay, so this should be a foregone conclusion. So he's used the Strider Boots. So the Strider Boots are gone. Doesn't sound like much, but it does mean charges coming afterwards are going to be hindered. That's 13 damage. And they're poppity pop.
again with the high nerve rolls, without needing them.
Yeah, it's always nice when it works out that way.
Yeah.
But as you say, you'll just be happy to get the enough.
Right. He got the kill he needed. And presumably he will here too. If not, those bloodworms are in trouble.
It's even more guaranteed than the other one, isn't it? Because you're on 3s, and then he rolls 11 hits.
24 dice on 3s and 2s. No, he did 9 damage. There's dread. He got there. They are inspired though. It's enough.
They were right. Yeah, it's enough.
It's enough.
Yeah.
Because
They'd
he
had the
killed
rally.
other ones first. Yeah.
Because he did the other ones first, it's enough.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need sometimes. That's all you need.
I don't like this pivot at all. Not without having done the bloodworms first.
Yeah, because what are they at the moment? They are in range, aren't they, of the bloodworms? Even if bloodworms pivot because of the Mead of Madness and the Wild Charge Aura.
Yeah, and
he's taking it back
they're
quick.
also just within double their speed of, like, without all the extra charge stuff, they could just charge. They're within 12. And if he doesn't, it's too high of a chance that they don't kill the beast. They probably will, but I just think it's a little bit too likely that they don't.
Well, they have a Hammer of Measure Forest.
Yeah, and 40 dice on 4s and 4s will probably kill the Beast of Nature.
Yep.
Is it 40 for the bloodworms? Wow, I didn't realize it was that
And
much.
Vicious.
Oh, yeah, because of the aura.
Yeah, but I think that combat should have happened first. And I think we do see that he didn't pivot, so that even if he fails this, the Guardian Brutes can't get in. Yeah. Yeah, he's 9 damage is probably going to be enough.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I like the 9 marked with the upside down 6.
Yeah.
Where is he going to pivot to? Is it going to be interesting?
To look at stuff. I don't think that's a question. You pivot to face everything.
It's just these lichens. The lichens are still in range of a lot of stuff.
And the lichens are still in his front. The bloodworms are blocking the lichens from flanking the fiends. There's no with the building. The lichens can't get out of their arc.
He's going to have to attack the bloodworms. That's what it's going to have to happen.
Yeah. Or just keep punching that horror.
3 damage onto the lichens. No lucky waiver. That's it. No, one more combat down at the bottom here. So what's Sam's options? Is he going to have to take the Stampede into these Soul Flayers to just guarantee a kill?
That's their only charge, and this Stampede
or
needs
does he
to
go? Does he go back into the shade, kill that, and then
just pivot to safely look at the middle of the board and make sure the
so.
Stampede gets in at the end of the game?
Yeah, because he's going to try and take out both Soul Flayers. But he's still going to have these 3 big units staring him down.
Yeah, starting to look like Joey's game.
I mean, it was 3 turns ago, but yeah.
But I think it only just comes down. I think it was just Sam not being as aggressive as he could have been, I think, with the list that he's got.
Right, but that was exactly what Joey told us he wanted Sam to do.
Yeah. And interestingly, that's Sam coming back. You know, we don't want to bitch on Sam too much because it's not easy, these kind of things. But that was his kind of plan as well, was to hold back as long as he could. Whereas he may have been better being a little bit more aggressive.
I get what he was saying. He wanted, he was doing the classic thing where you hold back a little bit to push the flank where you have the advantage. But it didn't work. Because when he did finally push through that flank, his middle wasn't somewhere to support it. Okay. 4's pretty bad for them, but they weren't all that likely to kill him, so whatever.
Yeah, every bit of damage counts. So,
yeah.
With Mind Screeches, the fence being in the way for hinder.
Okay, turn 5. So it's probably a good time. I'm just trying to get up your results.
Oh yeah.
From Thomas and Andrew, who played literally just this morning, didn't you?
Yep. Against Andrew Goodman.
He's playing with his Abyssal Dwarves, wasn't he? With Abyssal Dwarves.
Yep.
Using some of the new infantry formation, I think it was. He was using?
Yeah, he was using a lot of the new stuff. He said to showcase for the live streams. Did it feature him on the live stream? Yeah, he did.
I don't think we've done him on a live stream. I don't think Andrew was on one.
Maybe not. No.
It was hard to get. We've done a couple of streams every weekend, but there's quite a few games going on, and unfortunately, it's not just when they're doing the games, but when we can get commentators to commentate on the games.
Yeah,
so it was always a little bit tricky.
Which I know was an issue last week because I wasn't here, and that's the only reason it was an issue.
Yeah, I guess
we rely on Kyle to save the day, which is true. He's come in and saved the day. So let's have a quick check. So we have the original document here. Just do. So this is where we were originally. So Thomas is sitting pretty on 29 points, and Andrew's on 22. And then with the new results that you put in, this morning. Drum roll. Anybody who wants to add a drum roll right now? Good.
Oh, you.
Ah, there we go.
This was a bad one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got
Oh.
Thomas came on top with a 17-4 victory.
Mm-hmm.
So Thomas is sitting pretty at the top again. Still happy. You know, you don't have to have lots of kills to be top dog. You just have to have lots of victory points, which you have. So, what Sam and Joey are playing for are the coveted 26 points here. So Joey can make it as long as he gets a 13. That's all he needs, a 13. So he could get a
13 would put him at 25.
Oh, sorry. I can't count, can I? He needs a 15 then, doesn't he? So he needs a 15 to come on top, or a 14 but have more victory points total, which as long as he wins, he will do.
But a 15-6 will put Joey and Sam on 27, both of them.
Oh, yeah, good point. So then it will come down to victory points.
Joey would have more victory points if he wins this game.
So 14-7 actually works in Sam's favor. So Sam would actually again become on 28, and it would only be 26 for Joey.
Okay.
So Sam could lose and still qualify.
Like he said previously.
So
he did mention that.
So Sam has to be aware when he's playing the game that he needs to force his the loss of victory points total, which is the number of units actually in the scoring zone at the end of the game, and the attrition, so how many points he scores against his opponent, down to the lowest he possibly can. So if he, and it's not that hard to actually do in blackjack.
Blackjack, that one.
So that he has to have, I can't remember how many unit strength he has to win by to have higher, but let's get back to the game and I'll work it out.
That might be why we've been seeing Sam play so cautiously. If he was thinking that he didn't need to win, he just needed to draw or have a close loss.
Yeah.
So we come back in. So what we can see is that they've ignored the shade at the bottom, and they're Stampede, and these Guardian Brutes go in. The Guardian Brutes have gone in here. He has put the Lycans in after they nimbled around. They've regened a wound. Now, I do not like this. Do not do this, buddy. He was seeing where he could put the Avatar Father and ignore the Soul Flayers. The Soul Flayers are still unit strength 2, aren't they?
Right. He can't have the Soul Flayers coming in and flanking Lycans, because there's no guarantee the Lycans kill these bloodworms at all. Especially, I think they're hindered.
Yeah, they must have been.
They will be hindered because they'd have come over the hill here.
I assume they nimbled around to the left of the Rift Weavers over the fence.
There we go. As well, like the Chief has gone into the Fiends to churn them up. Chaff them up, sorry. So the heal, is that heal or a Bane chant?
It was a heal. He has the Stampede in there too. He doesn't need Bane chant.
It's very true.
It's probably what he's thinking, though neither of those units has Thunderous.
Nope, but they're only defense 4, so they're all going to be on 3s with 30 attacks. This father is not doing well. He's put him up to 10 damage. He's killed them though. He has killed them, and he's killed them again. There we go.
Okay.
But he's only going to get. All that's going to happen is he's going to get a Rift Weaver into him
to try and keep him from getting in the.
He just has to ground him for a turn, because this is turn 5. Don't forget.
This is top of 5.
Top of 5, and it's going to be Sam's 6 before next combat will be against him. So unless you get a turn 7, the Avatar of the Father's done nothing but kill a Soul Flayer unit. You take that at the start of the game. You take that right at the start of the game. Would you, at this stage, contemplate giving a flank to the Rift Weaver?
Right.
Just to be able to move double?
To be able to charge. Because if he turned enough, then he would be able to charge into the bloodworms if they came down far enough, or something ended up being around about this area. But it would be risky.
It's so tough because he's barely in range. He doesn't have.
He's got 6 damage on him already because he got spanked. And a flank charge from the Horror Rift Weaver is, what, up to 24 attacks from 4s and 4s. What are you doing, Sam?
There's Bane Chant available.
He has decided to overrun. We'll come back to our original conversation. How do you still qualify but lose? By not losing your points.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that's
285 points.
285 points that aren't going to die this game.
I would argue that he would probably survived a frontal charge from a Horror Riftweaver, though.
6 plus 6?
3s and 4s? Oh, it's double 1. Where's the double 1?
He also... Is that 15? Is that what this
It was on the
upside down
Bloodworms.
signifying?
No, I
How
think
much
it is
dam-
just...
Or is that 12? No.
Because he only did 4 damage then, and they were on 7. Were they? Were they on 7?
Yeah, I think
No,
they
it's
were-
2s. It's 2s, isn't it? Because they're crushed 2. So yeah, so
It
that's
was
right.
5
It's 12.
damage, so that's 12. Okay.
This got smacked the Soul Flayers, and they're dead.
Okay. That was... Yeah, clearing out all the Soul Flayers is to be expected.
Can he maneuver the Guardian Brutes so the Fiends can't charge? Or is that a foregone conclusion now?
It depends on what the other Fiends do. Currently, I don't think they'll be able to charge.
I was almost thinking maybe push them up so their frontage is
It's a great
kind of
cheating
across
game.
here, and then possibly use his own Lycans to back him up, but it doesn't matter.
But also, those Fiends might want to flank the Lycans instead.
Oh, don't forget the Chieftain's got Dread as well, so this is going to be a factor.
Oh, I did forget about that. I don't think he'll need it. He's got the Stampede and a Guardian Brute Horde.
Well, he's rolled a 5, so it doesn't make a difference. All right, Stampede rolls a shed load of 1s. He's all right. It's like 7 damage from the Stampede. And there you go, slightly above average hits from these guys, and 11 damage. There you go. So if I'm honest, I would keep them where they are at the moment then, because you're not going to get hit. Fiends with Elite aren't going to be able to get in, or aren't going to want to get in. You're not in range of the Mind Screeches. Pushing up doesn't really give you an advantage, especially if the Chieftain goes down in the combat with the Fiends. And he gets an overrun. But if he gets an overrun, that could be spell the end of the Stampede. So I don't know if he maybe wants to push the Guardian Brutes forward. It's a difficult one. Okay. Okie doke. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, and Joey has 14 minutes left on the clock for his final 2 or 3 turns.
Oh, bloody hell. Has he? How much has Sam got left on the clock?
24, I think.
How much did you say Joey had?
14.
14 minutes.
Ooh. I forgot that they had done the clock. Okay.
That sounds quite low. I don't know. They could have had a point where they didn't switch it over. Okay. Turn 5 bottom.
Okay.
Joey's going to have to move fast.
But, I mean, Joey should be at a point where he can just make his moves without futzing with them.
Yeah.
I say as he does whatever it is that he's doing.
I
This Sinistra.
think she's going to enthrall them out, because enthrall does damage, does it? Does enthrall do damage with them?
No, no, not off of her.
Not of her.
So why do that rather than just charging them?
You could lightning
Brings them
bolt
further
first.
forward. Yeah, could lightning bolt them first. Brings them further forward
There
to
you
an
go.
overrun
He's
from the...
gonna- If that's his game plan, to lightning bolt them and then
Pull them in combat.
I
And
still
then
like the lightning bolt
finish
on the
them off.
other Guardian Brutes more, but he might be thinking of a way he can.
I would also have liked, if you think about this, putting her so that she's not on the overrun from the Fiends, so she's only slightly off to the one side.
Out of the way in case the Fiends just want to overrun forward into.
It's a slight detail. It's not something you're always going to think about.
Oh, he just
Double
made room
charging.
to get. It's not double charge. He's charging the other Guardian Brutes.
There you go.
All makes sense now.
Can I do that now after the changes to the withdraw rules? Pull back and
Yeah,
you
you can sidestep. You can't
withdraw
go
and
forward.
sidestep,
Okay.
and then
It's
that's
only
plenty of
forward,
room.
and after double, that's not allowed.
Yep. Correct.
Okay.
Yep, and now this is going to let him lightning bolt and then enthrall. The interesting thing about this is he might just not kill the Lycans. He probably will. But only probably.
With 4s and 4s, 10 damage, isn't it? And they're only 15, 17 nerve.
Yeah, so he'll probably kill him, but only probably. I guess he's not banking too heavily on it.
No, but he could be in a position this turn where he's got all 3 hordes dead.
Yeah.
So with that, the unit strength battle is all over.
And the game would be all over.
Yeah, also,
it's
you'll
for the
probably have
tournament
enough points after that.
Because he has to get at least 3 unit strength more to start to get into the +1 bonuses.
Or 250 more kills, which I think he will.
Right, but Sam might be about to have 2 unit strength on the table to Joey's like 13.
Well, the lightning bolt wasn't super effective, but it did add an extra 3 damage.
So Essinisher might just not get the kill.
Yeah, with only 5 attacks with brutal, yeah, you've got a chance. Yeah. What's she like back being hit back?
Those fiends went downhill. They don't need Bane chant.
Yeah, who you Bane chanting?
I don't know. He had marked the fiends, and then he must have realized that he didn't need it.
Never mind.
So this starts to look like the interesting case where Joey goes into this with 2 losses at the bottom of the group and perhaps pull away and gets that 2nd spot.
He could.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
15.
Double 6. Bang. Even double 6 it just. Oh no, that was for the
Bloodworms.
The vicious.
For the bloodworms, yeah.
Double 4 does it.
Got it. Okay.
I bet he likes bloodworms better now.
Such an expensive unit, though.
Yeah. But it is 40 attacks, you know? I mean, it's just one shot a horde of Lycans. You wouldn't get that with Butchers guaranteed.
100-point unit, though. And that's true about Butchers, but it's also a 300-point unit.
You do have to get your money's worth from it. This is a... Luckily, he's got an elite roll, hasn't he? No, he doesn't need an elite roll. He had 13.
And vicious. So he just did like 17 to him, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, they pop.
Yep.
He may still have these Guardian Brutes on the bottom, though. That could be one saving grace.
Yeah, he could.
They kill Ashura, overrun into the Fiends, kill the Fiends.
Well, they won't overrun into the Fiends because his own hero's in the way.
But he has time to move in before he counter-charge.
I think the hero may take the Fiends, and you might have a Stampede going into the front of these guys here.
Yeah, probably. That's more likely. Oh, and she only did 2. 15.
Is that a wave?
They have to be okay, right?
It's a wave up, but they're Fury.
It's a waver, but they have Fury. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's got the shade back there behind the Stampede.
Just a few extra points of damage. You never know.
1.
1 point of damage. You never know. Ooh, if only it was closer.
It does strip Thunderous if they go into the Fiends. It's something.
It does.
All right.
Sam's going to be hoping for a turn 7 to get anything from this, and that's only if he has an amazing turn 6. Because he needs, yeah, here comes the Avatar the Father. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. I did run off. I mean, it gives food for thought because you can't guarantee, you're going to have to make sure that he covers himself just in case of a turn 7.
Right.
This is going to be tough for Sam.
Yeah.
Because it only takes the gentle breeze to kill these Guardian Brutes as well. So the Guardian Brutes can easily go down.
Yeah. But if he can pick up these fiends, that might make the difference close enough without looking at the scoring system.
I don't know, because if you're going to start totaling up points, somebody else is going to have to do that. So somebody else work out how many points.
Unit strength.
What, the Stampede? Are they 3?
No, but the fiends are.
The fiends are, yes.
The Stampede's only 2, but the fiends are 3.
But the Legion is 4, is it? For the
Right,
Bloodworms?
not enough to win the game, but if they're using blackjack, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll narrow the margin by quite a bit if you can pick up 3 unit strength off the middle.
I still think that Joey has killed so much more of Sam units.
Yeah, we'll see.
That he will still pull off the 15-6. Just from that.
Probably.
Yeah, the 15-6 is all he needs.
If he can pick up that last horde this turn, that'll help a lot.
He either has to have 3 more unit strength in the Dominate Circle or 250 points more.
Oh, that's all? He's going to have way more than
all he needs. It's an interesting one because, like, in some of the blackjack scenarios, it's really hard to get like that extra 1 point. But in this one, 3 unit strength is 1 unit.
He's going to have like 8 more unit strength.
Yeah, more than that, because he's 4 for the Bloodworms, 1 each for these guys here. Horror Riftweavers was a 1 as well, aren't they? Or are they unit strength 0?
And then that one of those fiend hordes is going to live, and then that's assuming the brutes die. That's like 8 different. Yeah. What?
A turn 7, if these Guardian Brutes can survive, he just got unlucky with probably
big if.
Stuff. A big if. So they're already into combat. What's going on? That was the.
I don't know.
The matey boy, the chieftain. So now it's down to the Guardian Brutes, 4s and 4s. Oh, 4 damage.
What? Oh no.
It's because it's 4s and 4s. Joey pointed out you could roll. It got him though. It got her, and then didn't get her on the reroll.
Yeah. 10 doesn't do it.
No, 10 does because of the dread.
No. His total was 10.
Oh right, yes, sorry,
yeah. With the brutal.
That's a bit mean. I thought he'd have a good Kins. Did he not Bane chant with
He Bane chanted the Stampede.
And the Stampede didn't need it.
Apparently not, because the Stampede rolled way better.
Yeah, that's typical.
I think they were the right unit to Bane chant.
Do you think?
But
they were on 3s and 3s, whereas these guys are on 4s and 4s.
Yeah, 3s and 3s. But they only had 15 attacks compared to 30.
Yeah, there is that. I do like the Stampede with Elite as an option.
All right. I'll be honest. The Stampede only having 15 attacks kind of makes them not the Stampede. Yeah.
They're V3 Stampede. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm. They should at least have Rampage rule.
Oh, that's what he was checking. Because the Guardian Brutes didn't kill Esanishra, they couldn't back up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is messing up the Stampede's pivot.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
He's going to get... the Fiends aren't going to be able to get to him, I don't think. He would have been all right. He'd have been all right facing the other way. Although he does avoid the overrun. Let's have a look. That's a problem with these bases. Yes, he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's just
It does
getting out
mean
of
that
the overrun.
does mean that Joey's almost. You could almost be tempted to push the fiends out of the way and put the bloodworms into the chief. Although you've still got the Riftweaver as well that can come in. Yeah.
He can't because he doesn't have the full 1 inch to back up. He'd run into the bloodworms.
Does he
They're
not have a
little
full 1 inch? Ah, right, okay,
Nope.
no. Would 4 inches have got him over an inch away? Possibly with a sidestep. I don't know.
Just sidestep 4 inches with his big fat base. No,
How rude.
not out of 150.
Yep. Flip over the Joey turn 6.
All right, let's see what Joey does. Other than kill those guardian brutes is the important thing.
There you go. A couple of double charge. That's what, 20 attacks on the flank on 4s and 4s? I'd take it.
4s and 5s.
No, because they get the Thunder 1.
They don't get the Thunder 1.
Oh, they don't because they fly.
Mm-hmm.
4s and 5s.
But
Yeah.
still, 20 attacks, 4s and 5s is probably better than 12 lightning bolts.
Well, onto what target as well, unless you feel that you can try and pop off the avatar.
He could also throw the Rift Weavers into the front of the chariots as well.
He could do.
Oh, are they nimble? I guess they are.
Yeah.
Although I would almost be tempted the
he's
Rift
doing
Weavers
it.
into the flank of the Guardian Brutes and put Shakira into the
Yeah.
because the Guardian Brutes would have, you'd been on 3s and 3s with
They also
18
have
to
the
24
shade.
attacks.
Yep. The Shade can finally use the Blade of the Beast Slayer now, though.
Ha! I'd almost be tempted. I don't. Yeah, Shakira's not going to come by herself, is she? But that's where maybe the Horror Rift Weavers would have switched around with them. Yeah, well.
But now it's 10 attacks.
And 3s
Still
and
not
2s.
looking great.
Well, it's only 15, 17 nerve. So as soon as you only need 5 damage, and they're already on a 4. No, on a 3 as well with the Dread.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is the Blubberworms giving up a rare to the avatar, or did it turn them to face the avatar?
I can't tell what unit or what direction that unit is facing.
I think it's got to be turning front. It can't be turning to face this way because that would be silly, as you say.
To give the avatar a rear, though?
I'd give the avatar a front. I think that's what they're doing.
I can't tell what direction that unit is facing.
Neither can I, because they're just tentacles.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess if they think the tentacles are moving from the base towards the tip, the front would be facing the avatar.
Okay.
If that's the logic.
Now, if the fiends don't get their kill, the avatar can just kill them on turn 7.
Yes, if there's a turn 7. But even
Right,
then, that's
there's a
not
couple
enough
ifs
units
involved.
Yeah.
There's a couple ifs involved, but especially the
Here we
fiends
go.
not killing this guy.
Although they've hit 18
They're
times,
18 hits.
but only 6 damage.
He's vicious. 9 damage.
9 damage. Yeah, it's a 5 twice. With Dread, it's a 4 twice.
It's a 4 twice. Oh, he got the 4.
Ooh.
He needed the Dread.
Yeah.
And then, you have to face to look at the avatar. Yep.
Avatar could still get lucky, but it is asking lots and lots for that to happen.
A lot from the avatar. A lot. Oh, good start.
Why don't you guys work out what the kills are on at the moment, or the route values and what's left?
Ouch. 9 out of 10 damage.
And then they're dead as well.
Yeah, that's a lot. So what do we have left? The Druid, the Avatar, and maybe the Chariots?
Yep.
That'd be either 380 or how much the Stampede is. 240. So if the Stampede lives, that's 620 points left.
620 points.
If the Stampede survives this.
Let's see the Stampede. Let's see if he survives.
Only 4. Oh, they're cheating, giving him Thunderous.
No, they didn't. They said 4 or 5.
Yeah.
No, it's well played. Joey's clued up. Using 3s from the front.
Ooh.
4 more. Puts him on 10.
All right. And
16,
Dread.
18. That gets him.
That's 18. Oh, he got him.
And
Okay.
there you go.
So
this is GG.
Another kill by Dread.
That's going to bring Sam down to 380 points and 0 unit strength in the middle of the table.
Oh, well.
Yeah. What are the bloodworms?
Sam's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, to 10 from Joey.
There will be a turn 7.
Turn 7.
Are the US 5 the bloodworms? So.
Oh, they're 5?
So it's 11 unit strength in the middle at the moment.
They're 5? Okay.
Can that be correct?
So at the moment he's actually on a +4 for his VP bonus. So that would make it an 18-3 before you even start looking at kills.
So Joey has less than a minute left because he hasn't had there is switch the clock. 1:17 left. But I don't think Sam has much to do.
Yeah, I don't know what Sam does at this point.
I mean, his only play really to get anything out of this.
Oh, why did they roll again? Okay, they've decided there's
no
no
idea.
turn 7.
Because
I guess it
Joey's
was an
supposed to
overrun?
roll for it.
I don't
Joey's
know.
supposed to roll for it rather than Sam.
Well,
I
whatever.
guess.
There is no turn 7. So we don't need to figure out what this avatar is going to do.
So there's 400 points left on the table. Is that right? 400 points with the
It was 380. And
380.
I don't know how much Joey has, but it's more than 380, significantly.
310 plus 300, so 610. 720. Was it the Blessing the Gods ones, wasn't it? Yeah. 965. Shade as well, wasn't it? 970, 1020. So 1120 horror as well. 1250 and Shakira. 1410 he's got left on the table.
1410.
890, isn't it?
And it's 380 is 1030. What's the difference?
1030 is the difference.
Yeah.
So that's going to put him on a +2, -2. So that was a 21.
Wow.
Oh,
Ooh.
really? No. He got the full
Yeah, 'cause
21?
He got 20 to 1.
Oh, 20 to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
I
500 points
misunderstood.
off getting the 21. But that's
I thought
actually
you were
really
saying
hard
he
to
got
do
the
in
full
blackjack.
Yeah, I thought you were saying he did. Yeah, but you need a bigger kill margin than that. Well, Joey got the 15 points he needed. That's for
yeah,
sure.
and then some.
He did it. Did it in style. No risk.
Mhm.
But his plan worked out. It was very clear right from the start. I'm going to hold off, chip away, and then when he runs forward, I've got a chance to then to engage him. And I think we all kind of decided it was just maybe not aggressive enough early, not on from Sam, trying to leverage his combat potential as quickly as possible on both sides. I feel.
Yeah,
I feel he just kept off two.
I think the turn he went in with the beast needed to also be the turn that Guardian Brutes started charging things. And it wasn't.
Yeah. And little things possibly like when he had the lost the Gur Panthers over in this area here for free when they would have been beautiful.
I like that Gur Panther play.
You liked it?
honestly.
I preferred him being ready to block
Yeah.
up everything up here because he could have blocked up one or two of the Fiend units if he got lucky with a right positioning.
Yeah, but like Joey said, like Joey was even telling us that those Gur Panthers were holding 2 Soul Flayer regiments back by threatening flanks.
I think the Soul Flayers he could have taken. Does that make sense? I think he would have.
You think Joey should have just gone in with them anyway? Yeah.
I think like Sam could have moved more aggressively, used the chaff earlier, so that he could have he'd have taken the Soul Flayers, and then taken those out again with the Guardian Brutes, but been a little bit further on. And then when you got the Beast of Nature coming around the flank maybe a turn earlier, he could have been threatening so many more things in the middle. But it's not easy to do, and it's especially when on stream there's a bit more pressure and stuff on it.
For sure.
And I think kind of goes to show that having a good plan, just having a plan and knowing roughly not roughly, but having a good idea of exactly what you're going to do and what you want to achieve does really benefit you. So it's very clear from the start. If Sam had gone in and just gone, I need to charge in, I'm quick, I'm fast, I'm brittle, I need to get in, kill some stuff, and then reposition, he may have been slightly further ahead. But it's a good game to watch. It was a good game. It was tactical. I think is the word I'd use. Tactical.
Yeah.
It was. They were using the word cagey, which is also accurate. To describe how they were, especially how they were moving early, for sure.
I just don't think Sam has the damage mitigation to be able to stay back too long. He really doesn't. With only like 2 heal, it's not going to be in his interest to do that.
Yeah,
I was supposed to have done that ages ago. Right. So let's move to this. Is that the one, or is it this one?
And then they must still be adding it up, and then they'll join us when they're done.
hopefully.
My guess.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so that does mean.
Sorry, is there like 3 other games being played right now as well?
Yes, I've had some results come in while we've been on the while being here.
Okay.
So there's a few other people playing, so they're working out. It's going to be over by they close of play today, and then we're going to have the results for the quarterfinals and stuff. And the way that kind of pans out is that winners from the groups will play losers from other groups.
Sure.
So Thomas coming out on top benefits you, buddy. So you're going to end up with
Well, we'll see. Maybe I could get bad matchup against the number 2 in the group.
Sure. Are there any groups that are totally done that we can talk about now?
I mean, well, we can talk about. I can tell you what would actually happen with Thomas and their group, because I can tell you which groups you'd end up having to play against, because that's already been decided. So let me do that. Having 2 laptops on the go, because I already know which group you're going to get your opponent from. So then it's just a case of whoever comes out on top on those ones. Somebody message them and just tell them that we know roughly where we are. Well, no, we're pretty confident we know exactly what the score is, so they can just make their way in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, being that you were in Group B, you will be playing the runner-up of Group D.
Okay.
So that's a group including Cy Brand, Sergey Kovarov, Keith Randall, and Alex Koos. So I think as last time I checked, I think Cy may be the one who's coming out on top there. I think Alex is out, so it's either Keith Randall or Sergey, depending. I think it's their game that they've just played. And then the runner-up will be playing against the winner of Group D. So that will be Cy Brand. I think. So
Okay.
let's see. I think I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to change their list if they want to. Oh, here we go.
Oh, interesting.
For the next stage, only because it gives people more opportunity to
Yeah,
see some different armies.
I really like that idea, actually. I just was not expecting it.
So, Sam, what went wrong, mate? What went wrong?
My things died. Everything is dead.
We are back.
I lost my chaff too soon, and he just had more things to get in the way, and the shooting didn't do a lot, but what it did do hurt.
Yeah.
There's little bits of damage here and there, wasn't there? Like on the Guardian Brutes, on just taking that Longhorn unit out over a period of time. It took a while, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, and then a few combat rolls where I did not have good hit rolls.
No, Shakira should not have.
Shakira shouldn't have been dead. I really wish right at the beginning, when I just in deployment, I put the Beast and the Avatar of Nature, switch them round.
Okay.
And it had been the Beast. It had been the Beast that went into the Soul Flayers and got stuck there, which that would have been fine. And the Avatar around the back.
Would have been a lot more impactful because the Bloodworms taking 18 means the Lycans might kill them.
Exactly. And that would have been a big deal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that move with the Lycans and the Panthers at the beginning, it looked good. I don't know if it was good. When they went between the house.
Better against armies that are shorter. Because like the Lycans had nothing to do.
Yeah.
We were a little bit. I mean, there was that bit where the Lycans could have charged into the Soul Flayers, and you were concerned that then the worms might be able to get into the Lycans afterwards. But we thought there was enough space to move it with the Gur Panthers and the Lycans to just kind of block it all up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, I should have just pushed sooner. I just didn't want to take the first punch, but in the end, I had to.
I think that's the kind of conclusion we came to. Is you were maybe a turn behind where you'd want to be. You know, if you were maybe a turn ahead, it would have made a massive difference to how the game kind of played out towards the end.
Yeah, I sort of suddenly realized that this is turn 4, which means that I'm running out of time, and I just didn't want to get hit because I wasn't confident that I would survive.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I should have pushed up sooner.
But yeah, it definitely felt like there was a turn when you suddenly decided you needed to go in, which is you often need to do it.
And I definitely wasn't counting on that flank from the Soul Flayers, which I just did not see that coming.
Oh, sure.
Which one was that? The one onto the Longhorns?
Yeah. And even Joey sort of halfway through his movement said, "Oh, hang on, can I move Esnishra back? Because I think I might have something better to do."
Luckily, we're playing in UB.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even use the undo, though. You just backed up to where you knew she was.
That was mostly because I had already finished my turn. Like, I had one move left, so I didn't.
You want to do everything. Yeah.
I also finished with 1 minute, so like the clock was starting to matter.
Right.
So I need to switch off that Discord because I'm hearing Joey twice. Okay.
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I thought that your plan, Joey, just kind of came to fruition. You were just held back, wait until he committed, and then just threw yourself in. It's not much else to say other than that. It seemed to all go to kind of plan, didn't it?
Yeah, that's really what the Soul Flayer, this is the build it's supposed to do, is use the range, and that 12 attacks just adds up so much.
Yeah, it's because 9 attacks is just not scary.
But 12 can spike. Like, they can
12,
just randomly do 10.
12 is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, we saw it on the Avatar. The Father was 6 damage. You know, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have got that.
Just,
with 9
yeah,
attacks.
that one. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I suppose the entire time they're staring you down, aren't they?
Sorry,
you don't
children.
Want to put your Guardian Brutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and also when Essanisha hit the Beast of Nature, I wasn't expecting that either.
Right. So, totaling it all up.
It's a 20.
Correct.
That's
I'm gonna
what
put
we
this
got
one
as
around.
well.
So can I hear it? Who won?
Well, yeah, you can do. I'm just working it out now. What was the kill? Oh, it doesn't really matter too much. I'll work that out in a minute.
It's
You mean
about
a mighty?
1,100 in difference.
Yeah, but it was like how many she had each, but it doesn't matter. I can work.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay, I had 1920 dead. Did 1920 of mine died?
Yep.
I've lost
he
the piece
killed
of paper. I
890.
wrote it down now.
Yeah, that's right, because I remember 1030 was the kill difference we calculated.
1030, so it was 890, wasn't it? 890, done. Right. So let's share this. We'll get. You drum roll
so
again. Something
we
slightly
got-
less.
We got to
Pathetic.
know.
That
Oh, boy.
is slightly less pathetic. So,
Oh, shit.
scroll again. There you go. You snuck in.
Thank you,
Well
Thomas.
done.
Got a pretty convincing win. We were looking at it and we were thinking if you got a 15-6, I think it was,
Yeah.
that was all you needed. So
Sam
if
only
Sam could have
needed
held off for a
a
14-7. Yeah.
I only needed a draw, yeah. All I needed to do was not lose, or even not lose too badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 14-7 would have been enough for you, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, I just knew that there were situations where I could lose and get through, or win and still get knocked out anyway. Which would have been the most frustrating thing in the world, so that didn't happen.
Yeah, I made sure that it couldn't happen.
All right. You're too kind, Thomas, I think.
Not to Andrew.
I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. He's got his favourites, has Sam. Oh, sorry, Thomas. Yeah.
So, Joey, it took you 3 turns to make the list work. Are you gonna take the option to change the list?
I
And
am.
moving
I'm
on?
switching armies.
Oh, we're switching
Boo.
armies.
It's going
Yeah.
balls deep.
Boo.
Well, if Thomas brings Mikael, this can't win. It's just it does not work.
Well, you don't know
at the
if
very
you're going to
least,
play Mikael. Not until the final.
well, at the very least, play something that hasn't been played yet.
It's gonna be something ratty.
Oh,
That's it. Just add a bit of spice, a bit of temptation for everybody. I like it.
spicy.
Right. Well, unless anybody's else got anything else to add.
No, I've got
I'm
a
3 for 3 on stream.
Right, there we go. Thank you very much again for Joey and Sam for
Bye.
letting us watch your game. And also thank you very much for Thomas and Kyle for joining me on the commentary group. Nothing else? I'm going to work.
We should also probably mention there's another game in, 3-4 hours?
In 4 hours. I'll be commentating on that one.
4 hours?
4 hours for the next game. Not as exciting as this one, because obviously I'm not going to be there. But, apart from that, it's going to be really good. Yeah, so you'll be joining Mike, Joey, and somebody else as well, I think.
I know his name.
Is Adam Ballard still doing it?
Yeah, I think it's Adam, and that's it.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah,
Almost as good,
I don't
but
think
not
I'll
quite.
stay up.
You sure? It'll only be 2 o'clock there. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you very much again. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.